Hello, my name is Hudson. I am a sophomore at Oakland University, currently studying abroad in Kansai in Japan. And this is my not so daily or bi daily record of everything that I've done, everything I will do, maybe inspire someone else to travel abroad. I am well aware that it is way past due for an episode. I apologize. I have no excuse, so I'm just gonna do all 3 days that I missed. I don't remember what I did on Sunday. I know for a fact that I did homework. I did homework for my Japanese class that I had Monday morning. Um, a friend came over and we talked for a little bit. I don't remember what I did. I really couldn't tell you. So, with that being said, we're going to go right into Monday. Monday was, as I said, I had my Japanese class. Super, super easy, super fun. We worked on katakana for the first time, which was interesting. We did the first line, which was the first two lines. So we did all of the basic vowels and all of the K and vowel sounds. So now like e, o, e, u, o, and ka, ki, ke, ku, ko. So we did that. I've been doing that for the past little bit. I studied yesterday, but yesterday after my class, another friend of mine came by and asked if I wanted to hang out and go walk around. He had split before his next class, and in the middle of my studying, I was actually able to get up, go walk around downtown. There was close to the bus station. There's another Lawson, um, and we looked there. And he invited me previously to go get tickets to go to an anime convention with him, which I was super excited that I said yes right away because I've never been to an anime convention, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. We didn't have the tickets there, unfortunately, but we still wanted to run anyways. We went to look at 3 different places to go eat. The first place didn't sell to anyone under the age of 20. That's me. I am the youngin. I am the baby of this group. I have yet to meet anyone younger than me. So that being said, the next place that we looked at it was all squid. Neither of us particularly care for squid or tentacles in general, so we skipped that place as well. Um, we also found on our way back a vending machine, and I believe I'm going to start a compilation of pictures that I find of vending machines that are not necessarily unhinged. Eventually, I know for a fact there are some unorthodox and unhinged vending machines in Japan, but we're getting there. I'm not going to say anything that I found. I'm not going to mention any of the vending machines that I found until I can post the full list of scuffed vending machines. This one that I found yesterday wasn't so bad, but it was interesting to say the least. Uh, Yesterday's walk ended as we found a restaurant close, actually really really close in comparison to where we came from, to Gotonyama campus, and it was a authentic Japanese place. It had like 3 tables, and the food was amazing. I have uploaded a picture of it actually on my Instagram, and as well as a picture of food that I had today, which I'll get to in a moment. But the food that I had yesterday, there was like a mini salad. There was a little some noodles with some like sauce on them, a piece of tempura, a big pile of egg fried rice with ham in it, as well as some vegetables, a separate bowl of rice, and no, no, a separate bowl of miso soup. My apologies. And then my favorite piece of it was this amazing like just slices of beef. It was juicy, it was tender, it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was like pressed, but it was delicious. It was my favorite part. I wanted to eat like a whole plate of it. It was so good. And it was actually really really cheap too. Like for the quantity, and the quality of the food that we got in total was like $20 for the two of us. Not even. It was barely 2,000 yen, barely. And I paid for the both of us because he couldn't. He had two small bills, and I had a large bill that I needed to break anyways. So I paid for the both of us, and then it was actually really tasty and really cheap too. So hopefully I'll have a chance to explore. I will admit I have been a coward and I haven't explored the restaurants over there, but I don't know what's a restaurant and what isn't. I can't read the signs, and there are multiple businesses per building. So especially over there where I went, but it was very tasty, and I will absolutely go there again. I don't know about tomorrow, but it's an option. I'm definitely walking back that way, so maybe. Um, Today was a little different. I woke up, I cracked open my blinds today, was trying out waking up with the sunlight, and I saw a little bit of light, and I woke up like just immediately because my body was thinking, "Oh, you gotta be somewhere when you see light," and the rest of me was just kind of jolted awake because it was only 6 a.m. I didn't have to wake up until 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I went back to sleep. Unfortunately, when I went back to sleep, the content of the light actually kind of hit me, and it was the coolest sunset I've ever seen. And I'm hoping I can get another picture of it tomorrow because it was super purple. It was super cool looking. So I do like getting the picture tomorrow, but I did definitely miss this morning's sunrise. Um, but then I woke up to my alarm, took another nap, like for another half an hour, got up officially, and I had an apple for breakfast. And then I walked over to Nakamiya campus, where I had my first class of the day, which is Global Cuisine. And this is the last week that we're talking about like kind of hospitality stuff and how everything came to be and the general guidelines, I could say, behind um, washoku, which is Japanese cuisine, and then omazashi, otenyama, otenyashi, the Japanese hospitality. So we're learning the rest of like the housekeeping stuff before we get into more techniques and stuff, which you said we're learning about next week. We dipped in a little bit today with like savoring and like flavor, and there are companies dedicated to selling and like branding and promoting sake and different foods as it relates to each other. So there's like a nanami and there's an umami taste in sake, and then you pair that with seafood, and that's why you eat sake. You drink sake with seafood is because of how the flavor profiles. Same thing as to why you drink white wine with fish. Or no, I'm sorry. There's a very specific white wine that's labeled the best in the world for this one dish, and I know that I have it written down. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Japanese cuisine. Okay, so it's called Sauvignon Blanc, and you eat that with oyster. And that is supposed to be the best drink, Sauvignon Blanc. That's supposed to be the best wine, white wine with oyster, because of specifically how the amino acids actually function. There's like food chemistry behind it, and I hate chemistry, and this is actually really interesting. But there's a certain kind of amino acid that mixes with the protein of the oyster to make it taste phenomenal. Like there's a specific flavor palette that that one drink elevates oyster above all others. So I don't know if that's like a vote. I don't know who decides that, but that was the end all be all decision for that discussion today. Um, so we talked about that kind of stuff. Afterwards, today was the first day that I was actually back on the Nakamiya campus with all the Japanese students who were returning for the first time this week. The official Japanese students who are actually, Japanese and not foreign. And I also learned today about something. Oh, well, first, I tried to find a place. I tried to find my little alcove above, right next to the 7-Eleven, packed with people. 100% packed between the entire McDonald's area, which has the bookstore and the 7-Eleven like stacked on top of it. Totally packed. Totally packed. It was difficult to get over there, like weaving in and out of people. Um, it was cool to see them all of them there, but like there's no spot to sit, there's no spot to wait. Everything is just really really full. Considering how many students we have originally, and how full the campus mall was then, it's ridiculous with all those students. It's super crazy. But I did find a place. I actually went back to Building 6 across the bridge, and I ate at the cafe for the first time. It was super super tasty. That's the second picture that I uploaded this morning. It's what I It was like a grilled chicken. I don't know if it was a breast or a thigh, but it was a grilled chicken with what was basically mango salsa on top, and it was so so good. And I was served with like a mini salad with some dressing on it, and like two little mini French fries, little potato wedges, and then I had a bowl of rice as well. And I didn't know that I was going to get a drink with it, so I paid for what was told to me by two Japanese students. That was like, "Oh, you want a drink?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And that ticket got me a glass of like peach juice, which tasted really, really, really good. It was super good. I wouldn't compare it to Snapple peach juice. It tasted authentically like a peach, so very tasty. And then I had just a glass of water on the side too. But it was a very tasty lunch, very, very good. I don't know if I'd eat there again. It's a little expensive for not a lot of food, but I was still full. I'm not full now. I had dinner, but it was a it was a sizable portion for what it was. So I will eat there again and explore what they have to offer. There's buttons that I can push and just see what happens. But yes, I will try it again. After that, I walked back over to Building 3. Back on, I didn't go across the bridge the second time, but I walked into Building 3, the bottom floor. There's supposed to be like a student lounge. That was full too. So I ended up sitting at a table right outside around what looks like mail slots. I could be wrong, but it looks mail room y. And a Japanese student actually introduced himself to me as Shahei. I That was the first name that I've dropped. Rats. I was doing so good. Okay, regardless. He's super, super awesome. Came up, totally didn't have to come up and talk to me. I was doing homework at the time, and he noticed that I was just sitting there alone. And granted, I was trying to do homework, so that was the point of that. But regardless, I really appreciated the conversation. He was super, super cool. Um, and he actually helped me with my homework. Because as a as an authentic Japanese student, he would be able to read. And I asked him how his learning experience were with the language, what he's majoring in, and just all the general introductory stuff. But then we just started making cracking jokes and just talking. It was actually really really cool. He was a super super chill dude, and hopefully I'll see him around campus sometime. I was able to get his Instagram information too, so which has become my just Japanese friend app, which is awesome. And he texted me a little bit ago. Now we're just making fun of each other and just going back and forth. But he's probably asleep right now. He should be because it's like it's what time is it? Um, it's quarter after 10. Oh, he actually texted me again. Look at that. Look at that friendship, magic. And we started talking, and then I had my Ghosts and Monsters class. That class we talked about ghosts and two specific stories. One of them was the story of the 47 Ronin, and the other one was Mitsugoro Yushi, I think. Both of them take place in the same general, kind of around the same time like this moment in time, like within days of each other. And it was told that they were kabuki plays, and they would be played almost in synchronization. They'd play act by, so they'd play act one of one, and then act one of the second one, and go two, two, three, three. And they're supposed to be played in sync as to how they represent samurai. And allegedly, after the end of the Edo period, at the beginning of the Edo period, and in the middle of it, samurai went from kind of up here to a step lower and became bureaucrats. So everything moved down a peg. The shogun moved. The shogun didn't move per se, but the Edo period ended with the shogun getting booted. So, and then that's when the Meiji reform happened. I don't know what period we're in now. But the samurai went from warriors to bureaucrats. And if you weren't wealthy and you didn't end up with a good job as either a political official or you didn't find work, then you were ended up as what was called a ronin. And ronin were kind of Japanese samurai. It wasn't poverty. I mean, some of them that end up getting, some of them ended up becoming impoverished from lack of work, but it was there's like muscle for hire, and they ended up some samurai ended up working for some fight rings and some drug lords and protecting brothels and stuff like that. So entertainment district stuff. What was it? Card rings, gambling rings. Gambling rings was the big one. But the story of the 47 Ronin was some kind of outsider. He was still royalty. He was. This is before the Edo period. Was the story when takes no. This is during the Edo period. The samurai was still bureaucrats. They're also called samurai, and the samurai at the top of this specific group. He was a lord, a daimyo, was invited to the shogun's palace. And then the advisor to the shogun was tasked with teaching this daimyo, who was kind of out in the country, how to act politely in the presence of the shogun. And he'd never like introduced himself in that manner or whatever. But this guy, the advisor, was a twit. And he thought himself better than this country bimbo. So he insulted him until this guy, the daimyo, pulled a sword on him, and in some cases threatened him, or in some cases actually slashed him, but he didn't kill him. And then the advisor goes back to the shogun and be like, "Oh no, he's so mean. He pulled a sword out on me in your palace." Shogun says, "Bro, I like you. You can't do that," and made him commit seppuku. Seppuku is ritualistic, supposed to be restoring your honor and kind of releasing any bad karma before you go into the afterlife. Now, this guy in the middle did it on purpose. He just wanted to get rid of it. But then the shogun was so kind of just taken aback, like drawing your sword in the palace was a huge disrespect. And the shogun took not only the other daimyo's land, but also removed all of the samurai from his service and made them all ronin. And then there were 47 of them that actually, were there with the first guy, the first daimyo. So now they're all jobless. These 47 are not happy with the advisor. The advisor knows these guys aren't happy with him, so he puts up guards and stuff and gets defenses. The 47 Ronin, bide their time for 2 years, pretending to be kind of lazy and like drunk and gambling addicts and whatever to make this guy think that they've lost their way. They're no longer samurai. No, for all 47 of them storm his palace. One of them marries his daughter to get the layout of the palace. Let's go in and just take his head, just like that. Just revenge. Takes them 2 years, but they eventually avenge their master. They all go and confess to the shogun and be like, "Oh no, we're still samurai. We have to do the right thing. We did bad." But then the shogun's supposed to be impressed, and saying you are really men of your word, you are true to your master, loyal to the end. Instead of executing you, I'm gonna make you commit seppuku. In my head, it doesn't exactly make a whole lot of sense. Because if you're honoring someone, you would want them alive, right? Apparently not to the Shogun. Apparently Shogun makes them still. So that's that story. Other story is a little more convoluted, but it involves another Ronin, uh, a couple samurai, just like three, a couple samurai, a broken marriage, a really good marriage who just ended up being broke, a weird dad, a pervert, two murders, a baby, a masseuse, a servant whose fingers were all broken and he was stuffed in a closet, a lie, another double homicide. This is in like chronological order, by the way. Um, and that was it. My homework for this class for today is to watch that story specifically as an anime. My homework is to watch anime. I'm not sure you heard me right. My homework is to watch anime. This is the best. This is the coolest thing. And if I don't want to go to that class, I can watch the anime on my own, respond to a comment in like the Blackboard file, and just not go to class. I probably will end up going to class so I can ask questions about what I see and whatever. But the odds of the people not actually being there are so high that I want to go just to be there to ask them, like, talk to the guy alone, to my professor alone. That would be awesome. That one-on-one conversation about what I'm watching, super cool. Way better than any conversation I could have on my own. So that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm banking on. So kind of hoping for that. But the odds of that happening are slim, but I'll take a 2-on-1 conversation. So yeah, that's that class. The bell kind of rang when we wrapped up double homicide. The second one, the second double homicide. After I got home, it was super super hot outside, and I just came here and I laid on the floor. I forgot to mention something very important that happened yesterday. I played volleyball with like 10 other Japanese students yesterday. Just hung outside and played volleyball for like 3 hours. It was awesome. It was awesome. They called me Mr. Incredible. I had an incredible blood. I had an Incredibles blood drive shirt that I wore outside because I didn't want to get a nice shirt all sweaty and gross. And then I whacked a ball. I served a ball over like a walkway. Oh, what's that word? What's the term for an outside walkway? A terrace? No, there's a word for an outside like hallway. Whatever that is. It was separated kind of the campus mall to the Gotanyama Mall from the door to go into Gotanyama, the front door that I go into, and the catwalk across. And I served the ball over, and it kind of bounced over, and they're like, "Oh, incredible!" And they're pointing at my shirt and whatever. So that was cool. I became Mr. Incredible to a couple of Japanese students, which is not to brag, but brag. Um, that was that, and I had to leave after. It was actually the Swiss guy, the Swiss friend who brought out the volleyball. It was a lot of fun to just play with him and just have fun and meet a bunch of new people. I got someone's Instagram. I don't remember who. Couldn't tell you his name, but that's how that evening went. Today, however, did not play volleyball. Still super hot, and I hung out and I just laid down. I was just dying, but eventually I got up and I looked over some of my words and just kind of went over my vocabulary again because we have a vocabulary quiz tomorrow. So that I can do. But around 6 o'clock, I made myself dinner. I don't have any more leftover ramen. Like um, pre-made, just need to warm it up on it. So I took my last piece of chicken and all of the vegetables that I have, and I made myself a little salad. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a great chef. What I will say is that was the best salad I've ever had. Was it because I made it myself and I was proud? Maybe. Did it have? It had lettuce, tomato, cucumber, carrot, oil, salt, pepper, and grilled chicken, grilled garlic chicken. I don't know how else to define perfect. It was so good. It was legitimately very good, and I made another one. I have two. I bought Tupperware the other day, and I stuck it in here. It even looks good. Like it needs a little box, little mini bento. It's a lot of lettuce, but this is tomorrow. This is for tomorrow. So, and I borrowed salt and pepper from a friend of mine. So yes, it was super tasty. Um, I feel like I'm ending. I'm like abruptly ending, but I think that's everything. I have to study some more tonight because I have a quiz tomorrow morning. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Apple for lunch. Apple for breakfast. I think that's it. Yeah, I made dinner for myself. Very tasty. I ate a lot of chocolate after my. I checked my email again just to make sure about something. But one, I do have tickets for the anime convention, which turns out to be this Saturday, which is super awesome. It's in, pardon me, it's in Kyoto. There's another food drive that's happening this Saturday. Not another food drive, but they're giving out food. Um, and then I think next week they're actually giving us a credit card with food money and like a visa, and I can go and get I can use to purchase food. So they are aware that students aren't eating the cafeteria, which I need to end up actually doing more of. The cafeteria hours were just posted yesterday night, so I can get food regularly at the cafeteria here, which is awesome. It's more housekeeping stuff. I also check my email, and apparently we need to keep this, which is Japanese tax information. Can I read it? No, but it says specifically keep it for housing and tax reasons. Now, I'm not going to get a job here. I can't, and my visa doesn't allow me to. But I do have it just in case they change the living situation and I have to sign something that says I lived here. Or like a damage report or something, even though I don't move anything from this desk. But yeah, that's been my evening. Yeah, good day. Tomorrow, I don't think I have anything else to report. That's about it. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But turns out when you tell stuff about your class, then it ends up being a little longer. But yes, I'm going to go get ready for bed because I have to be up earlier tomorrow morning than I care to admit. So thank you for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's late. I know I messed up. I missed today. I genuinely don't remember Sunday, except from homework. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. It's always fun to record because I get to experience it all over again. But I will see you in 2 to 3 business days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Arigato.